January 22nd, 2011. This is today's climate change update. Now I'm using my old Samsung camera because it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I don't feel like staying up till 4 a.m. uploading this video. So I think I might start the updates on this lower budget camera, so save me some time uploading. So let's get started, shall we? Well, we're going to start with the extinction protocol. Mount Etna sends lava bombs careening down eastern slope. January 22nd, 2011, Sicily. The eruption was brief, but it was enough to scare citizens of Sicily to death and unnerve numerous others. Massive balls of lava exploded from Etna's crater and came careening down the eastern slope of the volcano. Now there is video out on this. It's pretty crazy. 10,000 cattle die in Vietnam as harsh winter weather takes toll on livestock. Now this story is ongoing. More than 10,000 cows and buffaloes. Maybe as high as 13,000 mass animal deaths. And that's quite a bit. They've got a story, harsher winter weather is forecast for the United States. So dig in, here we go. Here's a funny one. Lawsuit alleges Dubai Islands are sinking into the sea. So that big multi-million-dollar megaplex that they did where all the islands look like every country in the globe, apparently they are eroding into the sea rapidly, and people are starting to sue. But they only sold one house, they were saying, and on Greenland. Coldest winter in 400 years seen across the globe. Dun, dun, dun. And then over to, let's go to earthchangescott.net. Now they have a lot here on this site tonight. Trapped in ice, thousands of fish die in the Detroit River. Residents in Riverside are concerned about why they say major fish kill is in the Detroit River. Now this is in Canada. The fish appear to be trapped in ice floes on the Detroit River in the Windsor-Alex Park, Riverside, East George Avenue. Thursday, January 22nd, dead fish can be seen with thousands of live fish schooling just below the surface. The RSOE had a report on the same fish kill, and they're saying that they were just, these people put in a blog that they were just walking down the park and these little white dots were just flowing down the river like somebody was just throwing them in there, and they didn't know why all these fish were dying. And then they have a outstanding story, actually. Violent seismic activity tearing Africa in two. The fissures began appearing years ago, but recent months, seismic activity has accelerated in northeastern Africa as the continent breaks apart in slow motion. Researchers say that lava in the region is consistent with magma normally seen on the sea floor, and that water will ultimately cover the desert. So that story is linked below. And I do believe I mentioned the crack in Africa either last night or the night before, and this is exactly what I was talking about. 24 stranded pilot whales in New Zealand die. Apparently they beach themselves and whatnot. What's going on, Apollo? My new cat is climbing the board there. And then they've got a story. Farmer wants to know what's killing his buffalo. Dozens of buffalo on a Serponius farm have died mysterious over the last 4 months, and veterinarian examinations provide no clue what happened. They were saying dehydration. And where was this? I believe this was in New England. And then go to page 1. Apparently there's an apartment building in Canada that the power went out. It's a huge multiplex. 1,000 residents have been forced to leave freezing apartment building in East End, Toronto, Canada. Then they've got a story, Canada 40 car pileup in Ontario. One woman was killed getting out of her car to survey the damage. Extreme weather there. Deep freeze gripping Midwest, aiming for the northeast. And that's usually the way it rolls, doesn't it? And then they have the story that I posted the video earlier. Now I wanted to save this entire story for my notes for later, and that's why I made the separate video. U.S. quick-hitting snowstorm invading New England. And they've got a video on that. Winter storm converge on the Atlantic side of Canada. Of course, New England gets its east coast of Canada gets it as well. That's just the way the weather rolls. And U.S. forecast for the region, rest of winter looks rough. And then here's another story to back up that one I did. Alarming NOAA data supports observations of North Pole's rapid shift. The NOAA National Geophysical Data Center maintains a data set of annual magnetic North Pole coordinates going back 1590. Back to the year 1590, derived from early measurements from ship logs to modern day techniques. Nothing that there has been lots of reporting of a pole shift lately, to the point where the phenomenon is actually causing real world issues such as temporary airport closures and deeper investigation of what was in order. And after transferring 420 years of North Pole position data from the NOAA Geodata Center, configuring it to fit the Excel spreadsheet, adding a complicated formula to determine exact distance between two sets of latitude and longitude coordinates, applying the formula to each data point in the series, and then finally plotting it in a visual graph, it's alarming to discover the amount of pole shift just over the past 10 to 20 years. So again, here's another story backing up that it is speeding up. And then another story, magnetic mayhem. Is Earth fluctuating magnetic field responsible for recent spike in mass animal deaths? Video below. FDA claims they poisoned birds in North Dakota. Now this story's been ongoing about how the the FDA and the USDA are saying they're putting out these poison seeds as the reason for these dead starlings and red-winged blackbirds and the like that. But I'm not buying it. So let's go to the Disaster Alert Network. Cold wave in Asia and Vietnam continues. Dun, dun, dun. Chinese authority issue yellow alert due to freezing weather. Beijing authorities said a fresh wave of freezing weather is continuing to affect southern China, and the blizzard conditions keep going. Then there was one more story I believe I wanted to cover on here. Slow computer. Alright. Oh yeah, drought in Africa, Somalia. The drought is worsening in many parts of strive-torn Somalia, where herders reported to be moving into Mogadishu, the capital of South Somalia, for the first time ever. Now they don't have any water, or all the grass is dried up, so these herders are actually bringing their herds into the city because there's nothing to feed or drink out in the country out there. That's pretty crazy. Death toll from Brazil storms now at 767, with 400 still missing. And of course we have a tropical cyclone just off the coast of Queensland, Australia. Whether or not covered this story, I'm going to attach that video below as well. He does an outstanding job taking care of the southern hemisphere for me, or at least his neck of the woods for sure. Thank you. And then let's finally go to the RSOE, and they have the whales in New Zealand, the fish in Canada. Now they've got an environmental pollution up state of Vermont, on Vernon, Vermont. The Vermont Yankee nuclear power plant Apparently they are finding radioactive material in the groundwater. Now they say it's still safe for human consumption, but they think they got another leak and they haven't quite figured out where it's coming from yet. I recommend you read that story if you're in the New England area. Let's go. The drought in Somalia, cold wave in Vietnam, and the fish in Canada. And again, they have the cyclone in the South Pacific. So that's about it for today as far as the climate change goes and everything. Uh, like I said, I'm going to go with this lower quality film for these updates since I'm doing them vlog style anyway, and I will definitely not let loose on the good camera for my weather reports or going out and anything else. But like again, you know, these long videos, gotta do what you gotta do. Enjoy while you can.